Y'all here? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get started.
I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave you. It's to the point where I love and I hate you and I can't.
Welcome back, YouTube. It's your boy Quinn Man. It's back at it again with another video. Today's video will be on C. Nicole Mason's Born Bright. To tell you the truth about this book, you guys, this is a pretty good book. Miss Mason, pretty much, well, the book is pretty much about how she went from poverty to success, and it doesn't just tell like a whole full blown out boring story, you get me, like it's just telling an actual full story, but the stories are kind of chopped up in mini stories to make up a full story. To give you a brief summary of Born Bright, it is about C. Nicole Mason's journey in life and how a young girl born in the 1970s in Los Angeles, California, with a 16-year-old mother who just dropped out of high school just to take care of her kids and stuff, and like she's went from days where she hasn't eaten, wondering how she's gonna eat, wondering how she's gonna like get through life, and to be a child dealing with that at a very young age, it is hard, but she still found ways, she still had help during that whole entire process to shape her to who she is today. Other than that, I'm about to pretty much go through the book. I'm going through 3 chapters of the book, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it, spoiler alert. I'm not trying to, like vary your ways and stuff of how y'all get to read this book, but I got to at least let y'all understand the hardships. One small story I'll be going over from the book is one of her small stories called Starve. Our cupboards were bare. I hoisted myself onto the kitchen counter in search of sustenance for the 4 of us, Lainey, Amber, Chantel, and me, but there were none. The most I could find were stale boxes of taco shells on the back shelf and a long bottle of ketchup in the refrigerator. I know there has been times where, your parents, ain't got their food stamps, y'all done rampage through the whole entire kitchen and there's like no food. I've been there. Like, the only thing we ever had was like peanut butter and crackers and jelly. Like, I used to make peanut butter jelly crackers when I was hungry. Like, I used to like just thinking about the old taco shells and ketchup bottles, that's sad, yo. At the start of the month, the refrigerator and shelves overflow with milk, cereal, chicken, grits, Oreo cookies, which I know it be busting, and fresh fruit. However, by the end of the month, we ate rice and butter at nearly every meal and drank sugar water. Now, I know there's been times where you had to sit down and drink sugar water. Like, I used to drink that thing like it came out the freaking fountain. Like, yo, like I understand like her, like that whole entire feeling. Like, after food stamps done went by, there ain't nothing to eat in here. I'm talking about nothing at all. As I keep on, like reading through the book or the first part that I'm presenting y'all, Starve, it gets down to where she even has to like wake up her mom, who just came in like the other night tired, I'm talking about. And like, it's been times like they like will sit there and they literally have to like force their mom to wake up just so they can eat in the morning. And for like Nicole Mason to be the youngest, no, not the youngest, she's the oldest. So for her to be the oldest, she's pretty much the spokesperson for all of them. Like she got to look out for her brothers and sisters. I understand that. When Mom Dukes finally had got up, she decided to go to Mr. Harrison. Mr. Harrison was an old friend of their grandfather. So like, it's been times when they had to go with their mom and Mr. Harrison and the like feed down while he talks to her mom and stuff, seeing how she doing, you know, giving her a pep talk, telling her be safe out here, everything's gonna be all right, everything's gonna work out. You know, a lot of folks need that type of positivity in life, because when it gets down to it, like, life is hard out here. I understand it. Like, yo, these jobs and stuff that's out here, it's not gonna help out. Like, this is why people go to school and get like education, so they can go to college. And when you go to college, you get that degree. When you get that degree, you can do more for yourself. So I understand that. Like, that's pretty much what, like, I've been through times where like my mom didn't have nothing, so she had to ask like my auntie, my grandma sometimes. Like, and right now, like, when you think about it, a lot of folks in America are homeless out here, and like, they need that support, that help. On to the next one. Book 12, Death is Here, page 104. During this part of Mason's memoir, she had a friend named Clearly. Clearly was a very sick girl, and like, during the first part of the book, like, Clearly had like received an award from Disney's Make-A-Wish Foundation because they knew that she wasn't going to live long. Like they said she wasn't even going to live past 30. Prior to that, they skipped all the way up to Clearly's funeral. Now, at a funeral, usually everyone is sad, mopey. You know how it is at funerals. It's a place, you know, to mourn for or grieve for someone who passed away. Everybody, you know, dressed in black and stuff. And Mason is dressed in her Easter's best. She didn't have, since her mom didn't have enough money to actually go and buy, you know, the appropriate dress attire for a funeral. Yes, like, she was at the funeral with the Easter outfit on. Like, I know there's been times that you went to church, well, even for most people, when they went to church and like they go with their Easter suits on. Going along with the story, as the funeral starts and stuff, the pastor is not preaching, or, you know, the sermon or whatever at the funeral wasn't about Clearly at all. Pastor made this on like forgiveness. You gotta come back to church. Let God forgive your sins. And all that other crazy stuff. Now, doing all that whole entire sermon, Nicole's mama over there crying. And like, she's weeping. She over there saying that they're gonna come back to church again and all that other crazy stuff. And Nicole said this: "We had not been to church in years. The last time she had made such a declaration was at Pop's funeral a few years prior. He had a heart attack and passed in his sleep, found by one of his lady friends. He was only 50 years old." As you constantly keep on, you know, continuing to read on in this story, it was saying that her dad, most of the people saying that her dad was a wonderful man and all that other crazy stuff. But as you can see right there, she was throwing shade to what mama was saying. And her dad was found by one of the lady friends. As we continue on with Death is Here, like, during her father's funeral, you know, a years prior, like, people who she never met before was there. I'm talking about women that she never met before was down there. Like, Dad was a low down dirty person, but all those people was trying to make it seem like, oh, he was a genuine nice person, he was good to the community and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you got children. And where were you, Pop? As it get down to this story, Devil is Here, it's pretty much just showing like how her mom constantly makes like promises that she can't keep, and she's still inside the house of the Lord, the house of God, and like God be the witness, but like she's still not changing. She's still making lies. So as I get down to the last part of the book that I was going to talk about, I'm going to talk about her story, Not Poor. Now, as I read through this part of the book, pretty much, you know, Nicole is very much more grown at this moment. You know, she has matured a lot as a young lady, and she's moving back in with her mom. Throughout the story, she left to go live with her uncle and her aunt. Long story, you're gonna have to read the book for that. But as I was saying, so as I'm reading through this part, pretty much like as she gets settled back home and like she's trying to, you know, start back, resume what she was already doing when she was living with her mom before. A group of kids had came to her mom's house. Kids her brother haven't known, she didn't know, but they was looking for her mom as foster. So when they found her mom, their mom, you know, asked them to, you know, interact with the kids and stuff, you know, show them, like, you know, entertain them just a little bit, you know, be hospitable. So as they was being hospitable, it came down to like Nicole didn't really wanna, you know, be seen with the children or with the little girl that was a part of the little group. So she had took her inside the house, you know, showed her some music videos and all that other whatnot. After the children had left, their mom explained to them the situation. The situation was pretty much like they were poor, very poor. Now, there are times out here there are people who are poor, but there's like a next level to that. Like there's people who are poorer than them, who are like they don't have like they don't really have that much money to get clean clothes, hardly have any running water, hardly even get food stamps like that. They're like people who are on welfare, like doing this out in 1970. Like, so though that most people are, you know, lower class, as they would say, it gets down to like, even if you can spare just a little, like it's better to actually help out people, because this can be y'all out there. I've experienced, like, my very close friend who was in high school with me, like he was a little bit less fortunate than me. I'm talking about he went from like group homes to like living in shelters and stuff, and then like right now, even now, like he's poor, but when it gets down to it, like a lot of stuff has happened in his life, and it's hard for them to stay positive. That's why they need people out here to actually help push them in the right way, help it pretty much just piggyback on helping them. Well, y'all, I'm pretty much done with this book review. Please check this book out. It's awesome. It's pretty, like, really deep. Like, you can, like, people out here in the suburbs, I said suburbs, no, in the city, pretty much anybody down here in Atlanta, like, check out this book if you love to read and stuff. Even if you don't love to read, check this out, because this teaches you a valuable lesson. And like, us as individuals, us as people, we will have to literally have like an inside story right here. Like, this is stuff that's still going on now. So yeah. Hey y'all, like this video, share it, and like in the comment section list like y'all ideas about the book. If y'all have read it, use this hashtag right here. So like, cause Born Bright needs to be a lot, like, put it in like education, cause this is what happened out here. I'm finna go, y'all. Peace.